My name is Richard Miller from the Charities and Not-for-Profits team at Dafferns, and I want to share with you some ideas on change for charities, time to pivot adapt. The starting point is to assess the why for our charity. Go back to our charitable purpose. What outcomes is the charity set up to achieve, and how will it achieve these outcomes? Ultimately, the focus should be on our beneficiaries and how we can maximise impact. With our strategic objectives, we will have, amongst other things, a delivery model, what products, services and projects we will deliver and the means of doing this, a funding model, dictating how we generate income and use reserves, and an operational model, structures, resources, systems and processes to provide a stable backbone for our charity. Many charities adopt an evolutionary approach to developing strategy, taking our existing, hopefully successful model and doing the same as before and building layers on top. But what happens if our existing model is no longer fit for purpose? In his book, The Lean Startup, Eric Ries defines a pivot as a change in strategy without a change in vision. COVID-19 has forced almost all organisations to pivot or adapt rapidly in many areas. So does our charity need to pivot and adapt? Here are some questions to ask the trustees and exec team in our charity. Is our strategic model still fit for purpose? Have the needs of our beneficiaries changed? How can we best deliver maximum impact with the resources available to us? Is there a new, better delivery model for our products and services? Is the current funding model financially sustainable? What is working, not working, in what we're already trying? What needs to change? So the next time we meet up, here are 3 ways to stimulate thinking as to future direction and strategy. Firstly, the blank canvas. If we had a blank canvas and we're setting up our organisation again, how would we do it? Think differently. See through a fresh pair of eyes rather than the lenses of our past. Challenge held assumptions and our old way of doing things. Number 2, deconstruct and reconstruct. Looking at our charitable purpose and the needs of our beneficiaries, ask ourselves the question, if we could do just one thing to bring maximum impact, what would it be? Then, once you've decided, pare back our model to take into account only those costs and resources required to deliver this. And before adding back any other services or operations, we must justify their contribution. By that we mean the impact created for the additional investment required. And thirdly, picture our where. It's always easy to focus on the issues facing us now and jump into fix-it mode. At best, this is firefighting. We need to take some time to picture the where, our vision for the charity and our beneficiaries. This gives us a context and a direction of travel. The how then becomes our strategies and actions to bridge the gap between now and where. So if we're looking at change in our charity, here's a checklist of things to do. Firstly, focus again on our beneficiaries and charitable purpose. This should be the driver for everything we do. Ask ourselves the question, is our existing model fit for purpose? Look at where our charity needs to pivot adapt, and we had a look at 3 ways we can actually stimulate some thought as to change. So blank canvas thinking, deconstruct and reconstruct if we could only do one thing, and then finally now, where, how. The challenge is to develop a new strategic model that is sustainable, that we can use to set our priorities, and is agile enough to allow us to adapt to any emerging threats and opportunities. So if you'd like to keep this conversation going, or if you've got any questions, please do get in touch, richard.miller@dafferns.com. We'd love to help you with change in your charity.